13717 FH, People versus Fawn Renee Reedy. Ms. Reedy requested a plea date. Is that still what she wants to do today, Mr. Presides?
Yes, Judge, she's going to enter a plea today. We were waiting for the lab results, but once they came back, I went and talked to Ms. Reedy, and then we asked the court to set the matter sooner rather than the May date we had, Judge.
Is that what you want to do today?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear oath to affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth, no truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Robinson, would you put the agreement on the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. The agreement is that the defendant would plead to counts 1, 2, and 4. People would dismiss the double drug. It would go with count 1. People would cap at the midpoint of the guidelines as they are scored at the time of sentencing. We preliminarily score those guidelines 0 to 17 months.
Mr. Presides, did you understand the offer?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so Ms. Reedy, the charges that you're entering a guilty plea to read as follows: that on or about January 11, 2026, you were in Croton Township, Nuevo County, State of Michigan. Count 1, that you did knowingly or intentionally possess methamphetamine. This is a felony which occurs up to 10 years in prison and or $15,000 fine plus costs. Do you understand count 1, the maximum penalty?
Yes, sir.
Count 2, same date, same location, resisting, obstructing a police officer, that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Andrew Polisek, a sheriff or deputy sheriff of the Nuevo County, that you knew or had reason to know was lawfully performing his duties. This is a felony which occurs up to 2 years in prison and or $2,000 fine plus cost. A consecutive sentence may be imposed if the assault was committed in a place of confinement or for another violation of resisting or obstructing. Understand count 2 in the maximum penalty.
Yes, sir.
Count 3, resisting obstructing with Jason Fritzman, a deputy, would be dismissed. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're pleading to count 4, operating while intoxicated. Same date, same location, that you did operate a motor vehicle on 56th Street while under the influence of a controlled substance. You should be aware that if this situation resulted in damage to another person's property or physical injury, that you would be required to pay restitution. This is a misdemeanor which occurs up to 93 days in jail and or a fine of not less than $100 or more than $500 and or 360 hours of community service. I can order rehabilitative programs. Vehicle immobilization is mandatory if you have a prior conviction. I can also order cost of prosecution. You understand count 4, the maximum penalty?
Yes.
All right. You have a sentencing agreement that you be sentenced consistent with the advisory guidelines for these 2 felonies. The prosecutor has provided an estimate of 0 to 17. Your actual guidelines could be higher or lower than that. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
They provided a mid cap, so you would have an agreement that you would serve no more than the midpoint of the advisory guidelines as I score them at the time of sentencing. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
If that turns out to be a county jail sentence, then you'd be consenting to a term of probation. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And I guess for count 4, operating while intoxicated, the most you can get is 93 days. And I think you've been in jail for 93 days already, so that one's going to be just a fine situation. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is that your complete understanding of the plea agreement in this case?
Yes, sir.
Have you had sufficient time to consult with Mr. Prysock about these charges and this plea agreement?
Yes, I have, sir.
Subject to the plea agreement, how do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
You understand that if I accept your guilty plea, you're giving up your right to have a trial of any kind?
Yes.
You also understand that you'd be giving up the rights that you would have at that trial.
Yes, sir.
We've listed those rights for you on a written advice of rights sheet that you signed originally on February 24th, but you signed it again today. Did you read that document?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Has anyone threatened you to get you to make this plea?
No, sir.
Has anyone promised you an outcome different than we put on the record?
No, sir.
Are you entering this plea of your own free will?
Yes, I am.
Do you understand that if I accept your guilty pleas, you're giving up the right to later claim that this plea was not your choice?
Yes, sir.
Do you now give up your right to have a trial of any kind, all the rights that you would have at that trial? And do you still want to plead guilty?
Yes, sir.
Is it true then that back on or about January 11th, 2026, that you were in Croton Township, Nuevo County, State of Michigan? Were you operating a motor vehicle on 56th Street?
Yes, sir.
Had you ingested controlled substances before driving?
Yes, sir.
What had you ingested?
Methamphetamine.
Okay. And when did you ingest that methamphetamine before driving?
Before I slept, but either way, I'm glad that I didn't hurt myself or anybody else in the process.
Oh, an hour, 2 hours?
Right, at least 4,
Well, 4 hours?
at least.
Okay. And then when you were driving the motor vehicle, were you still feeling the effects of the methamphetamine that you consumed?
I wasn't, but I mean, it was in my system, so therefore it was still there.
Did it affect your ability to drive the car?
Oh, yes,
Okay. So to have it affect your ability to drive, you must have been feeling the effects, correct?
correct.
And did you have a blood test done?
I did.
And did that show the presence of methamphetamine?
It did.
All right, now, as a result of that traffic stop, did the police find some methamphetamine?
They did.
Was it your methamphetamine?
It was.
Where was it located?
I did in a bag, I guess. I honestly, I don't remember where it was located. I wasn't coherent with everything that was going on,
But it was in your vehicle.
but it was in my vehicle.
Do you know how much you had?
I believe it was a little more than crumbs, but it was still there either way.
Okay. And this is what was left of some large amount that you had ingested earlier?
Probably, yes.
All right. And it sounds like after the operating while intoxicated and this methamphetamine that they tried to place you under arrest?
Yes.
Did you resist them or fight them?
Yes.
What'd you do?
I guess I pulled back and I said no a few times.
Okay, struggled with them, tried not to get.
I tried not to be pulled out of my car, I guess. Yeah.
All right. And that was one of the sheriff deputies, Andrew Bolasek.
Yes.
How long have you been using methamphetamine?
For a few months.
How'd you get started?
I got hang around the wrong crowd. Just peer pressure got the best of me.
At that point, you hadn't heard how it ruins lives and people die and all that kind of stuff?
Honestly, it wasn't my type of thing, and I really wasn't hanging around with anybody that liked it. It was there, and then it wasn't a normal thing for me at all.
Okay. And once you started using it, how often were you using it after that?
Every couple days.
So you got hooked pretty quick?
Yeah, it was not a proud moment, not at all.
Do you have a history of other substance abuse
No, sir.
usage?
No, sir.
It was just methamphetamine.
Marijuana is legal now, but yeah, marijuana,
Okay.
whatever.
Are the attorneys aware of any promises, threats, or abuses which is not seen on the record?
No, Your Honor.
There are none, Judge.
Is she competent to enter this plea?
As far as the people are aware, Your Honor.
She is, Judge.
Is the court comply with the MCR 61302?
Court has, Your Honor.
Court has.
When the court does find the plea to be knowing or stated voluntary and accurate, I'm going to refer to the probation department for the preparation of pre-sentence investigation report. We're going to set sentencing for May 19th at 9 o'clock. You just need to talk with Mr. Zert before you take you back. He'll have some information that he needs to fill out. Okay,
Thank you, Your Honor.
that's all for today.